Folks, welcome back to Three's In. So, this morning I'm going to begin by telling you um, this is my story number 400. And it just kind of cracks me up. I just sit down when I get the urge and share a story with you, and I enjoy doing that. I do it for a myriad of reasons. Some of it's entertainment, some of it is enlightenment, I guess, to give you an appreciation for what it was like in the pilot training environment, predominantly in the 60s, 70s, and into the 80s. And then I feel a responsibility to share our heritage with you. What it was like going through pilot training and what it was like in the Air Force in the 60s and 70s and 80s. I put a lot of stock in heritage. I always have, whether it be in the Air Force or in my family. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here a little later on here. I also want to take the time to remind you of the heroes that we had the privilege and honor of working with, flying with, working for, and so forth. Guys like Sandy Vandenberg, Chuck Yeager, Bud Day. I met those guys and a few others along the way, and I was so fortunate. It's just so humbling to think that I was in their presence. It just is remarkable. I want to give a shout out to my Quiet Birds hangar that inspired me to do these stories, to tell these stories, because I enjoyed telling them at our monthly Quiet Birds meetings, but I wasn't recording them per se. So I want to also mention that when you make a comment on the site or on a particular video, I get cracked up. Some of them are humbling, some of them I look at and go, whoa, and then others I go, wow. So I do read your comments, and a lot of times they stimulate other stories in me, remind me of other stories. And that's kind of like it was in Three's In. We would sit down and start to tell stories, and one would feed off another. Pretty soon it was 11:30, and we had to go home and justify to the War Department why we were so late. At any rate, going forward, I'm going to pick up on my thread I began here 6 weeks ago on going through UPT 54 years ago. Today we entered tweets, and I'll take off on that on the next video presentation. And I'm going to introduce a thread. If you care to follow along, you're more than welcome to. But I'm doing it more for my children and my grandchildren about our heritage from Switzerland. So I'm going to be talking about that. I will preface the presentation with FAM, fam. So all that being said, I do appreciate you. I appreciate your comments, and I do enjoy sharing what I have to share with you. So that being said, hang on. We're off and running to 401. Good to see everybody. Bobo. Base gear, stop.